Garchomp is a vicious, heavy-hitting bruiser who specializes in overwhelming her opponents with heavy-hitting attacks and never letting them out of her reach with her fantastic mobility and unique advancing tools. With a mix of speed, power, and weight, Garchomp has all the tools to be considered a terrifying combatant, but her lack of overall range and fast fall speed might make it difficult for her to keep up against characters that excel at stage control and spacing. As a Garchomp player, it's up to you to push your opponents into a corner and make them fear your overpowering attack options, taking every opening to pour on damage and giving your opponent no chance to retaliate. But even if they do, they're guaranteed to take some damage in return thanks to your unique character mechanics. Garchomp is a large, monster-like character, being the largest of the Pokemon characters as she stands around the same size as Bowser. As previously mentioned, Garchomp is designed to have a strong balance of strength, speed, and weight, but this by no means makes her an all-rounder by default. Being in the top 10 for both run speed and weight value, Garchomp is the heaviest character with her type of playstyle, with her main weapons being her razor-sharp claws, her large tail, and destructive full-body charges. Going hand in hand with her rush-down playstyle, a decent amount of Garchomp's attacks will push her forward, constantly pressing the advantage in an attempt to force her opponent into a bad position. In terms of mobility options, Garchomp has 2 jumps, along with the ability to wall jump. Garchomp's cornerstone is damage and pressure, the idea is to design a character who is focused entirely on planning and execution as opposed to chores and routine, and as a result, Garchomp's character mechanic is more of a passive buff than an actual mechanic. Rough Skin. Named after the same ability from the Pokemon series, Garchomp's shark-like hide is callous and rough to the touch, meaning that those that carelessly touch her might end up hurting themselves. As a result, opponents that hit Garchomp with physical attacks will receive damage in return, this recoil being 0.3 times the attack's regular damage. For example, if Garchomp is hit by an attack that deals 3% damage, then her opponent will take 0.9% damage in return. Of course, this mechanic only applies to melee strikes, for if Garchomp is hit by a projectile, her opponent will not take any recoil. This only makes the importance of aggression in Garchomp's game plan even more apparent, for if you are going to get hit, you want to make sure your opponent is at least taking some damage in the process. Garchomp's normals will have the Violent Landshark dominate her foes with slashing claws and full-body charge attacks, all while also utilizing her ability to move incredibly fast in short bursts and control over the very earth itself. Garchomp's neutral combo is Triple Dragon, a 3-hit combo that will have Garchomp slash twice with her claws before ending the string with a heavy-hitting tail attack. A simple yet effective set of attacks, Garchomp can use this combo to either catch neutral exchanges or to simply deal damage. For the tail attack, not only does strong damage and knockback, but it's also disjointed, allowing for Garchomp to trade easier with her opponents. Garchomp's forward tilt is Dual Chop, a pair of vertical claw slashes that will push Garchomp forward as she attacks. This double input attack will come out fast and launch foes after the second claw slash, but overall its range is only average. Garchomp's up tilt is Dirt Splitter, Garchomp performing a rising uppercut slash that will tear up the ground in front of her thanks to the force of the attack. A solid anti-air option, this attack will deal bonus damage if the opponent is struck by the kicked up dirt, which will also give this move a large horizontal hitbox, one that's nearly as wide as it is tall. On top of that, this attack is armored on startup, namely while Garchomp's claws rip up the earth. Garchomp's down tilt is Crunch Slide, Garchomp launching herself forward along the ground and attacking with a rushing bite. This long-range slide will launch foes with force that the opponent is hit at the beginning of the attack, but near the end of the slide's length, this move's knockback is much weaker, making it a perfect follow-up option. Garchomp's dash attack is Takedown, Garchomp using her full body to charge straight through her opponent with heavy force. A simple full-body tackle, this move's strength makes it an excellent kill option, but its reckless nature makes it a bit slow on the recovery, and one of the slowest of Garchomp's moves overall. For her get-up attack, Garchomp will spin around and strike with her tail, all while biting in front of her for her ledge attack. Garchomp's smash attacks will put her power on full display, her most powerful abilities mixing her brute strength with her blinding speed while also utilizing her immense power over the elements of the earth. Garchomp's forward smash is Dragon Thrash, a powerful 3-hit combo attack that will have Garchomp tear her opponent to pieces with her deadly claws. Similar in execution to Cloud's forward smash, this attack will deal its damage in a quick, rapid burst, and while it's got the shortest reach of her smash attacks, it's got the most kill power and starts rather quickly. Garchomp's up smash is Stone Edge, Garchomp cleaving her claw along the ground to summon a massive jagged stone that will deal heavy damage to any opponent in its path before launching them skyward. With its massive hitbox and disjointed benefits, Stone Edge can challenge platforms with ease and punish poor spacing. But an added benefit this attack has is that Garchomp will shatter the rock at the end of the move, allowing for potential bonus damage and protection should the attack miss. Finally, Garchomp's down smash is Earthquake, Garchomp leaping up into the air before coming down hard into the ground, causing a huge shockwave to erupt below her feet that will deal massive damage to opponents on both sides of her. Garchomp will leap a considerable distance into the air while performing this attack, meaning she is capable of jumping clean over not only crouching attacks, but some standing attacks from shorter characters. But the time it takes to jump and slam makes this attack a bit slow on startup. Garchomp's powerful legs give her a pair of powerful jumps. Along with her powerful jumps comes a set of reliable aerial attacks designed to chase opponents and close out stocks. For just because she's a ground type doesn't mean she can't terrorize the skies. Garchomp's neutral air is Fin Cutter, Garchomp tucking in her legs and spinning around in midair, her back fin cutting through and dealing damage to all enemies in her path. A quick and reliable attack, Garchomp's fin is also disjointed, allowing for her to trade with opponents easier as she uses this move as a reliable landing option. Garchomp's forward air is Crush Claw, Garchomp attacking with a wide-hitting vertical claw slash out in front of herself and sending opponents flying from the impact. This powerful attack can be used as either a combo ender or a stock closer, its overall use making it similar to the forward airs of Charizard and Bowser. However, unlike those two, Crush Claw's landing leg is substantially shorter, meaning it can also be used as a reliable landing option. Garchomp's up air is Double Slash, Garchomp slashing overhead with both claws at once in order to launch foes away with heavy force. This attack has a sweet spot at the point where both claws begin their slash, meaning this move can serve as either a combo extender or a kill move. Garchomp's back air is Dragon Tail, Garchomp attacking behind herself with a wide-hitting tail smash. A powerful kill option, this is Garchomp's slowest aerial overall, as while its startup isn't slow, its landing leg is quite notable. As a result, it's best to not try landing with this attack. Finally, Garchomp's down air is Dragon Dive, Garchomp thrusting her momentum downwards as she drops through the air at incredible speed and smashes through any opponent in her path. This move will not only provide a meteor smash effect if the opponent is hit by the beginning of the attack, but Garchomp will also create a burst of damage once she touches the ground, giving her some protection against those looking to punish her. Although, even if the attack does have an extra hitbox, Garchomp does take some time to recover from this attack, so it's still best to use this move with care. Garchomp will grab her opponent by holding them tightly with both of her claws, all while biting down on them in order to pummel. For her throws, Garchomp focuses less on kill potential and more on raw damage, using anything from claw slashes to powerful bites to even utilizing her ability to fly at incredible speed. If it can hurt, then Garchomp's not afraid to use it. Garchomp's forward throw is Dragon Scrapper, Garchomp slamming her opponent into the ground before running forward, dragging them along the floor before tossing them away. While the attack is similar in style to the back throw of King K. Rool, Garchomp will actually run forward while attacking, giving this move more damage and kill potential. Garchomp's up throw is Slipstream Skydive, Garchomp holding her opponent close as she takes off up into the sky at incredible speed, all before soaring back down and smashing the opponent into the ground. Being designated as Garchomp's kill throw, this attack will deal area-wide damage once Garchomp slams into the ground, meaning anyone below her when she comes back down will also take a beating. Garchomp's back throw is Crunching Thrash, Garchomp picking her opponent up by biting into them before thrashing her head around, dealing heavy damage before slamming her opponent into the ground behind her. This is Garchomp's strongest throw overall in terms of damage, but its knockback is only moderate at best. Finally, Garchomp's down throw is Rock Smash, Garchomp tossing her opponent to the ground before stomping on them repeatedly, all before stomping hard enough to cause the earth around her to burst and bounce the opponent upwards. Thanks to its low knockback growth and good launch angle, this is Garchomp's combo throw. Now it's time for the specials, where Garchomp will utilize a set of attacks from the Pokemon series in order to pour on the pressure and give her opponent no quarter. All of Garchomp's specials serve a purpose in her game plan, so it's best to get situated with how each move works. Garchomp's neutral special is Dragon Claw, a powerful physical attack that will have Garchomp build up energy before rushing forward and performing a wide-hitting vertical claw slash. This attack will gain both damage and multiple hits as it's charged, Garchomp herself also being heavily armored while charging. Once at full charge, this move will gain an extra hit at the end that will serve as a launcher, and even if the opponent blocks, Dragon Claw can drag her opponents quite the distance across the screen. This move's charge can be stored by tapping the shield button in the middle of the animation, much like Donkey Kong's Giant Punch or any of your standard charge projectiles, and when unleashing the attack, Garchomp can attack both in front of her or behind her by holding back on the control stick, meaning she can possibly catch opponents trying to fake her out with a roll. Garchomp's side special is Dig, an advancing attack that will have Garchomp dive into the ground and charge forward as she tears up the earth in her path. This quick-moving dash will have Garchomp bypass incoming physical attacks and projectiles, and while dashing, the player can perform one of 3 different abilities in order to pressure their opponent into making a dangerous mistake, with the ability you get being dependent on what buttons you press. If the player releases the B button while dashing, Garchomp will burst out of the ground while performing a rising uppercut, cutting into the opponent with her fin in order to launch them up into the air. This attack is heavily armored on startup, and can serve as a great stock closer against those that make mistakes in the neutral, but it's best to be careful as this attack's slow recovery speed makes it easy to punish if blocked by a shield. If the player taps the A button while charging, Garchomp will instead launch herself out of the ground in a dashing charge, flying through the air at a 45-degree angle and smashing into whoever happens to be in her path. This surprise attack can be used to either catch an opening or fake her opponent out, as thanks to its launch angle, Garchomp is capable of launching herself clean over her opponent's head, which can lead to mix-up potential if timed properly. Finally, the player can cancel this attack early by pressing the jump button or holding the shield button, meaning that on top of kill potential and mix-up options, Dig is also capable of faking out her opponent. Truly a lovely set of bonuses to round out a highly versatile attack. Also, if used in the air, Garchomp will instead perform a diving leap until she comes into contact with the ground, where she will then proceed to dig through the ground as normal. If used off stage, however, Garchomp will be able to snap to the closest ledge in her path, but it's best to be careful as this aerial dive cannot be cancelled until Garchomp touches the ground. For her recovery special, Garchomp will utilize what is considered her most iconic attack, Dragon Rush. While her family isn't the only one that can use this move, there are a few Pokemon out there that can put this move to as much use as Garchomp can. When the move begins, Garchomp will rise up into the air as she builds up Draconic energy, all before rushing forward in one of 8 directions at a blinding speed, smashing into anything in her path and launching them away with decent force. This move has similar functionality to the recoveries of characters like Fox and Ridley, but Garchomp's version of this attack will benefit from unique perks, including armor on startup, a quicker movement speed in return for a longer charge time, and the ability to push and drag opponents who try to block it, so Garchomp can still push your opponent into a corner. Garchomp will go into a helpless state once the attack ends, so be sure to try and aim for the ledge. For her down special, Garchomp will take a step away from tools designed for aggression and instead utilize a unique move that is designed to help her deal with heavy zoning and push the opponent to approach her, Sandstorm. With this, Garchomp will summon a cloud of swirling sand at her initial location, this sand veil staying active on the stage for a set amount of time before it disappears, with Garchomp not being forced to stand inside of it nor to keep it active. However, while standing inside of it, Garchomp will bypass incoming projectiles, a reference to her other ability from Pokemon, Sand Veil, which will increase her evasiveness while a sandstorm is active. Of course, while she will bypass incoming projectiles, she's still fully vulnerable to physical attacks. but opponents that enter the sandstorm bubble will find themselves taking passive damage as long as they stand inside. So it's best to force Garchomp out of her veil quickly in order to avoid taking too much damage. Next is the Final Smash, and since she hails from a generation where many power-up forms and game-breaking abilities weren't a thing, I feel it's only fitting that Garchomp sticks to her roots and utilizes a unique Final Smash that simply taps into her raw strength. This is Coronet Ravager. To start the attack, Garchomp will rush forward at blinding speed, catching any opponents in her path in a cinematic beatdown of a Final Smash. At this point, Garchomp will assault her targets with violent slashes and slam attacks, all before slamming the ground hard enough to cause all caught opponents to go airborne. In a flash, Garchomp will then fly up and grab the first opponent she hit with the initial attack, taking them high up into the sky before soaring back down and smashing them into the ground, the impact causing a huge blue explosion of draconic energy that will launch all foes with serious force. At the end of the attack, Garchomp will let out a triumphant roar as the battle returns to normal. As she is a Pokemon, Garchomp's victory theme will more than likely fall in line with the other playable Pokemon and simply be the remix of the original Pokemon theme. However, to add a bit of flair to what is considered to be the most terrifying Pokemon from her generation, I decided to give Garchomp the champion victory theme from Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, a triumphant victory theme for a champion tier Pokemon. Victory animation number 1 will have Garchomp fly down from above, slamming into the ground before turning around and posing menacingly for the camera. Victory animation number 2 will show Garchomp digging through the earth, all before bursting out of it in a violent spiral and landing on the ground, turning her attention to the camera with her claws at the ready. Finally, victory animation number 3 will have the camera pan up to Garchomp's face before she lets out a roar, striking a pose similar to her promotional artwork for Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. It's simple, but roaring to the sky is one of Garchomp's main poses throughout the Pokemon series. Taunt number 1 will have Garchomp clang her claws together, growling as she does so. A simple animation that's inspired by the same taunt used by Wolverine from the Versus series. Why Wolverine? Because like Garchomp, he's the best there is at what he does. Taunt number 2 will have Garchomp stomp the ground repeatedly before letting out a bellowing roar. If the opponent is standing too close to Garchomp, they can't be harmed by her stomps. Finally, taunt number 3 will have Garchomp perform Swords Dance, a series of swords appearing around her as she strikes a pose. This taunt will actually buff Garchomp's next physical attack by a small amount, so it has more uses than simply looking flashy. Garchomp's colors will mainly make reference to the other pseudo-legendary dragons of the Pokemon series, but there can only be one queen. Consider this Garchomp showing respect to her less competitive counterparts. Color number 1 will feature Garchomp in her default colors, featuring a deep blue hide with a red and yellow belly pattern. Color number 2 will reference the colors of Dragonite, the pseudo-legendary of Gen 1, featuring an orange color scheme with a beige and green belly pattern. Color number 3 will reference the colors of Salamence, the pseudo-legendary of Gen 3, featuring a turquoise color scheme with a gray and red underbelly. Color number 4 will reference the colors of Hydreigon, the pseudo-legendary of Gen 5, featuring a jet black color scheme with a blue and magenta underbelly. Color number 5 will reference the colors of Goodra, the pseudo-legendary of Gen 6, featuring a light purple color scheme with a deeper purple and green underbelly. Color number 6 will reference the colors of Komao, the pseudo-legendary of Gen 7, featuring a gray color scheme with a yellow and red underbelly. Color number 7 will reference the colors of Dragapult, the pseudo-legendary of Gen 8, featuring a black and turquoise color scheme with a yellow and red underbelly. Finally, color number 8 will have Garchomp wearing her shiny colors, which is a slight change to her original appearance. While subtle, it's just noticeable enough to tell the two apart. Also, when Kirby absorbs Garchomp, he'll gain a hat that looks like the upper half of Garchomp's head, this granting Kirby access to Dragon Claw. When it comes to discussing the possibilities of older Pokemon for Smash Bros., I feel we've reached a weird point in terms of speculation. In terms of series importance and relevancy, there are plenty of Pokemon from past generations that are iconic and relevant enough to be put in a game like Smash Bros., Garchomp included, as she recently ranked in the top 10 most popular Pokemon of all time. However, Pokemon is seemingly a franchise whose inclusions are based less on who's popular and more who's relevant/marketable, and as a result, popular Pokemon like Gengar, Eevee, and Garchomp are thrown to the wayside for what's popular in the moment, which will probably be a Pokemon from Generation 9 or 10. Still, I feel that Garchomp is a character that they could add to Smash at any point and it would work flawlessly. And while I might be a bit biased since Garchomp is tied for my favorite Pokemon of all time, her popularity speaks for itself. If you like what you saw, be sure to like and subscribe, and if you want to be the first one to hear about an upcoming video, click the bell icon and follow me on Twitter for updates and other various content. Also, if you're a fan of Smash Bros. And are interested in getting a custom moveset for your dream Smash character, consider becoming a member of my Patreon where, once per month, you'll receive a moveset for a character of your choice. That's all for now, so until the next time I see you, be safe, take care, and remember to have a good one.